When local growers put great food on Tennessee tables, that's living green. Join Live Green as we examine the green side of the Bonnaroo Music Festival, walk Carol Coleman's wondrous garden, and witness the startup of an awesome new farmers market in Nashville's Woodbine community. Plus, Gator Harrison bakes blueberries with Chef Destin Pritchett of the Fontanelle Mansion in Whites Creek. We visit the Gadget Lab and the Medicine Garden and a whole lot more. For good news that's all green, it's Live Green Tennessee coming up next.
This program is brought to you in part by
the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This summer, there's fresh, local food grown by a farmer you know at Tennessee farms and farmers markets near you. There's fun there too, with berries to pick, animals to pet, games to play, fish to catch, and color you can bring home to last all summer long. This summer, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
Do you know where I can find
drill bits? L7.
Thank you.
Hey, aren't you Charlie?
Charlie's here?
Charlie?
Charlie?
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
Charlie, pick up on line 1.
This happens a lot.
From the great wide north to the hills of Tennessee, built with pride and integrity, honest Abe log homes from sea to shining sea, building the American dream. Honest Abe log homes.
It's what you've always wanted.
HonestAbe.com. And by the generous support of the Nature Conservancy of Middle Tennessee and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. Connecting the grower to the buyer, the country to the city, and smart shopping with a healthy lifestyle. It's Live Green Tennessee.
Hello, I'm Melinda Kiefer and welcome to another hour of Live Green Tennessee. You know, one of the best things about hosting this program is witnessing the variety of tried and true as well as bold and new ways that Tennesseans are eating healthy, buying fresh, and supporting Tennessee producers. Recently, Live Green dropped in on Woodbine, a decades-old section of Nashville's vulnerable Flat Rock neighborhood. Committed to the process of revitalization, a few citizens realized that community could mean much more than just sharing a name and a neighborhood watch.
I'm Mary Crimmins, and this is the first South Nashville Farmers Market here in Woodbine. And so we're out here at the grand opening today on Tuesday, July 6th, and we're really excited. We've got a lot of vendors here, and a lot of people have showed up already, so it's really exciting. I lead a Girls of Woodbine book club. And for our April book club, we read a book called Animal Vegetable Miracle by Barbara Kingsolver. And it's about this lady who takes her family basically on a year-long journey to only eat local, so even like within their neighborhood. And so they grew a garden, and so it documented that. So after we read this book, we had the biggest discussion group that we had, and we had been going for almost a year. And so after that discussion group, I said, I think I'm going to start a farmer's market. And so that was April, and here we are in July, and that's how it really got started. And just seeing movies like Food Inc. and The King of Corn and documentaries like that helped kind of fuel the fire, so to speak, and get us excited to do this. It really was a community effort, and so I just pulled neighbors who were, new to the community and wanted to see it, grow and become better. And so it's literally, it's been all neighbors, all people really under the age of about 35 that have started this and got the marketing going and the advertising and getting the farmers here and all that.
I live in the Woodbine neighborhood, and I'm here to support the neighborhood farmers market, and I'm representing Real Food Farms located in Brentwood. The benefit for me is that I can walk with my family a few blocks down and buy fresh produce for them to eat that's organically grown, and we can have that every week. We have access to that every week. And we get out together as a family. We're together with our neighborhood one night a week out here all together. A lot of these guys are my neighbors, so it's been really, really exciting to watch it come together and to be a part of it.
As kids, me and my sister, we worked some of the different farmer markets around Nashville, and came out here today at Woodbine. It's the first time I've been here, and I'm really very surprised at the outcome, the number of people that's come out today. So that's really good. I'm glad to see it. So.
My name is Jessica Fritz, and I'm with the Veggie Project through Vanderbilt Children's Hospital. So today's the first day of us joining the Woodbine Farmers Market, and as you can tell by our empty baskets, we have sold out within an hour and 15 minutes of the market starting. So we couldn't be more thrilled, and now we'll know for next week that we need to order a lot more food.
Well, we had Anna Page, who is our council lady. She said that she would support the market if we could get 4 committed farmers. So that was our goal. We had to get 4 farmers, and we were really scared. People had kind of scared us off and said, no, there's no way, everybody's too busy, the farmers are tapped out, you won't do it. And so we wanted to get 4, and now we literally have 19 different farmers and vendors, and it's amazing. I mean, we had 17 a day ago, we got 2 last night, so as of today, we've got 19. Yeah, we've got people from Brentwood, we've got people from Clarksville, we've got one person from Bowling Green, Kentucky, Hendersonville, College Grove, Prim Springs, basically within 100 miles of Nashville or less is kind of how we've laid it out. The vendors include, we've got several meat people, we've got organic and grass-fed meat, we've got several produce people, so we've got vegetables and fruits, we've got sweet and savory pies and tarts, we've also got different breads, honey, local gourmet cheese, we've also got goat cheese, coffee, gourmet roasted coffee here in Nashville, a gourmet dog biscuit person, and a gourmet lemonade lady who's actually behind us, and her lemonade's fantastic.
We're excited that it's here, that we get to be able to share some produce with our friends and our neighbors, and we're excited that we get to share plants and tomatoes, and it's a great idea.
We have Somali people here, we have Hispanic people, we have lots of Kurdish, and so we need to bring those people together with what a lot of locals call the old guard. And the old guard are just all middle class, mostly white residents that have lived here pretty much their whole lives. And we decided that if we just really kept things positive and didn't really focus on complaining about each other or who didn't mow their grass and things like that, then we could try to turn the attitude around. And so that's what we're trying to do here. And honestly, as someone who is 43 years old and used to run around in this park and play on the playground here, the original playground, it's very emotional for me. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. This is what I wanted to see when I moved back to this neighborhood.
We have 19 farmers right now, and like I said, last night we had 2 people just after watching the news that called me and wanted to be here that are actually here today. And then I've had several people already, a meat person and then another produce person who wants to be here next week. So it'll even grow from 19 farmers probably to about 25 even as far as next week goes. So it's really, I mean, it's, like I said, it's amazing to see it. Thinking we couldn't even get 4 to this, it's incredible.
Each month, country giant DJ Gator Harrison raids the D.T. McCall kitchen to learn about cooking green. This month, Gator teams up with Chef Dustin Pritchett of the Fontanelle Mansion, once the home of country singer Barbara Mandrell.
Hey everyone, welcome into the Green Galley inside the D.T. McCall & Sons kitchen, and we've pulled away from the Fontanelle Mansion to cook with us regular folks. It's Chef Dustin Pritchett. How are you, sir?
Doing well.
We're washed, we're clean, we're ready to cook. What are we going to be making?
We are making a blueberry rhubarb crisp with a cream cheese ice cream.
This man knows exactly what to make for Southern boys. All right, so how do we get started? What ingredients do we need?
We're going to start with the fruit filling, and I'm going to have you cut up some rhubarb.
Rhubarb, right here. And the one thing that I did notice about the Fontanelle Farms is it's not just a farmhouse restaurant. You guys are always, your kind of catchphrases from the farm to the fork, is that right?
Farm to fork.
So where's this stuff come from that I'm cooking right here?
It's coming from North Nashville. The blueberries as well.
All right.
I have a local farmer who brings me a bunch of stuff from Kentucky, or South Kentucky and North Gallatin. I get stuff from people a mile down the street as well.
Very good. So, big fans of the farmers market. You guys grow a lot of your own stuff as well?
No. At the moment, we've been open for about a month, and we plan on, I don't know exactly what the time frame is, but we're going to have a kind of a teaching garden out in the back. Yeah. And we'll have basically a full working garden, and we'll use stuff from it for the restaurant. And then we'll bring groups of like high school kids and stuff like that out there to help educate them about.
Teach them in the way that they should grow, I guess. All right, so what do we talk about? We got rhubarbs here. What's next?
Rhubarb. We're going to take that rhubarb.
All right.
Toss it in there.
Here we go.
And we can cut up all that rhubarb.
Smells good. Oh, you want it all?
Yeah, we're going to make, right here, we're going to make kind of a casserole for about 6 to 8 people.
Okay.
It's a real easy dessert. Mix everything, throw it in the casserole, mix the crust, throw it in the casserole, and then you make an ice cream custard, freeze it.
Okay.
Real simple. Anybody can make it.
Hey, look, all my fingers. Okay.
That's good.
So we've got the rhubarb, and it's in.
Yep, throw the rhubarb in there.
All right.
And then we're just going to pour some blueberries.
Now, you say some blueberries. How many are we looking? Is that just to taste?
About equal parts blueberries to rhubarb.
Okay.
Then we're going to throw in a little bit of flour.
All right.
And this is going to kind of help bind it when it starts cooking. It'll make it nice and thick. Some brown sugar.
All right.
I'm going to throw about half of that in there.
About half? I like the way you think. All right.
And then we'll pour some honey.
Maybe a little more.
From here in Tennessee.
Tennessee honey, the best kind.
And then a squeeze of lemon.
Now, why a squeeze of lemon? That surprises me.
The acidity in the lemon helps bring out the flavors in the blueberry and rhubarb.
Wow.
Not too much, though, because the rhubarb is tart as well as the blueberries. And then you want to add a little pinch of salt right at the end. It's kind of weird adding salt to desserts, but you add a pinch of salt to anything sweet, and it's going to bring out the flavors of the blueberries and the rhubarb and everything like that.
All right. Okay. So basically, we've got a big bowl of yummy goodness.
Yep. Just
What's
mix
next?
it up a little bit.
Okay. Tell me about Fontanelle, and for those of you that don't know about Fontanelle Mansion, where it's at, and you know what you're going to see when you get there, because it's not just a mansion, is it?
Nope. It's kind of it's a venue based around Fontanelle Mansion, which is Barbara Mandrell's giant log cabin house that she lived in years ago. Some investors went and bought the mansion as well as the property, and have kind of created this venue, kind of a touch and feel music museum.
Sure.
Where you can actually go travel through the house, and as opposed to being roped off, you can actually touch the memorabilia, sit on the couches.
Player banjos and dobros and stuff.
Go into her fridge and have a beer.
Tickle Earlene. I mean, it's all kinds of fun. Make sure you stop in Fontanelle. And you guys you find yourself at the Farmhouse Restaurant. Great eating and a full service restaurant, right?
Yep. We've opened up basically from ground up a month ago. 144-seat restaurant, does breakfast, lunch, dinner, 7:30 to 9 o'clock p.m.
Right. Southern cooking, too.
Southern cooking.
I mean, you can get like toad in a hole. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I saw it on the menu. There's Freebird chicken that you can get for dinner. Deviled egg 6-shooters. I mean, it's not just a restaurant. It's an adventure when you eat at the Farmhouse Restaurant, right?
There's nothing pretentious there. It's food for regular people.
Sure.
The main basis behind the restaurant is where we get our stuff from.
Right.
We get our beef and pork from Hillview Farms. I get produce from all over the place, cheese from Franklin, from Southern Kentucky, grits and cornmeal. I mean, everything that we could possibly get, we try to bring into that restaurant to help support the farmers. So.
That's what we do here in the Green Galley. As a matter of fact, his hat's kind of like a green NASCAR, isn't it? I mean, you're getting all the plugs in. It's important because you guys got to know where to go shopping. Don't just settle for the grocery store. Yeah. Lots of good eating out there. Okay, so what next? We've got our
throw that in there.
In here?
Yep.
All right. This has a very distinct smell. I mean, it's very good smell. But it's not what I expected.
It's going to be a real clean, like I said, the blueberries and rhubarb are fresh, so I just want it to taste like blueberries and rhubarb.
Yeah. All right, smells great. Okay.
All right, we're going to take this bowl.
Okay.
We're going to mix the dry ingredients together, which is some flour.
Okay.
And I've measured all this out.
All right, how much are we talking here, flour?
I can't remember.
Well, good. So at home,
Fortunately, the
about
recipe's
this
on the
much
website.
is what we're looking at. Dump the whole thing in?
Dump the whole thing
All
in.
right, dump the whole thing in. You know, cooking in the South is not really a science. It's just whatever you want to stick in there. Usually is how it works
Exactly.
out. Okay, what about this?
Brown sugar.
Brown sugar? Whole thing?
Whole thing.
About this much.
That's
Here
a
you
pound,
go.
I know that one.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so we got a pound
Yep,
of
we got
flour, pound of sugar.
A couple cups of oats.
Now, whole grain.
Just rolled oats, yep.
These aren't the 1 minute ones, are they? Right. Okay.
And then we've got some fresh cinnamon, just a little bit of that.
Now a little bit, just kind of a pinch there to give it some kick. All right.
And of course a pinch of salt again. And then we would mix that up
Okay.
with those rubber spatulas.
All right.
And if you're feeling good, you can
Sure.
use your hands.
Now,
get
how
in
did
there with the food.
How did you end up at Fontanelle?
I was looking for a place of employment.
That's good.
And I was familiar with the Tomcats company, which is kind of the umbrella company for not just the farmhouse, but Sapphire and Loveless Cafe.
Right.
And they were looking for an executive chef to help them, particularly, get the kitchen up and running, but someone
Right.
who already had established relationships with a lot of the farmers
Oh,
here in
good, yeah.
Tennessee. And I've been here for about
I started to say, are
9
you from this area?
I've been here 9 years. I worked at Sunset Grill for about 8 years.
Okay, good.
And
So
during
you've
that
got
time, I
history.
built some really solid relationships with local farmers.
Very good. Well, awesome. I can't wait to come see you at the Farmhouse Restaurant at Fontanelle Mansion. Okay.
Good.
So now we got a pretty good mix on here.
Once that's mixed up, you'd add your butter to it in a food processor.
In a food processor?
Yep, just kind of a chop.
How much butter would you add?
Whatever the recipe says.
I got you. Whatever the recipe says. Check the recipe online. Okay.
But we're just going to bypass that.
So
we
you'd
don't have
add
a
the
loud
butter
food
to
processor.
this in a food processor. You would mix it up.
And you end up with a product that looks like this. Just kind of a rough, crisp crust. The butter and the flour and the sugar is all just going to cook together.
Okay.
And you're just going to sprinkle that right on top.
Right on top.
Yep.
Again, remind the folks what exactly we're making here.
Blueberry rhubarb crisp.
This seems really easy. I mean, this is something I think even I could tackle at home, and I wouldn't be intimidated by it.
Crisps are all, family, grandma recipes. Crisps, crumbles, grunts.
Right.
All those kind of things. Throw the stuff in a casserole dish, top it with something and bake it.
And so that's what you're looking at. It looks good right now.
Yep. You're just going to throw that in the oven.
Okay, we got the oven preheated at?
I believe we cooked it at about 425 degrees.
Okay.
And it's going to cook for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until all that fruit kind of starts to bubble.
Okay.
The blueberries will kind of explode, and and then it'll create its own sauce. The crisp will brown.
Right. While that's cooking, what should we be doing here?
While
It
that's
looks like we
cooking-
got more work to do.
Yep, we're just going to kind of show the process of what we're going to do to make the ice cream.
All right. Fire up the grill here.
With the grill. And basically you've got some half and half.
Okay.
And you just pour that in there.
All right. How much half and half do we know?
I believe that's 3 cups.
Okay.
Like I said, the recipe on your site's a little more specific as well. Sugar, which is about 2 cups.
2 cups of sugar. I'm assuming we just kind of stir this together.
Yep. And typically what you would do is you would take your 3 eggs, crack them, and then throw them in a bowl.
All right.
Oops, like this.
Okay.
3rd egg is right there.
All right.
And then once that cream was to get hot, you would slowly pour just a little bit of the cream into this whisk egg mixture.
Okay.
And then you'd pour that back into the cream and let it cook on a low heat until it's lightly thickened up to create kind of a little
How
bit
long
of a
does
custard.
that normally take?
Takes, depending on the amount you're making. Sure. I make a big giant amount at the restaurant.
Sure.
Probably take about 5 minutes.
Okay, so it's not very long at all.
Something you can't walk away from though, or your eggs will scramble.
I got you.
And you'll have scrambled egg ice
And
cream.
so it's going to be a nice little topping for the crisp.
Yep.
Okay.
And once
very
that cream was heated,
right,
then you'd take your cream cheese and just kind of melt that into the mixture.
Okay.
Pour the mixture into a standard ice cream maker, 1-quart ice cream maker, $30, $40 ice cream maker you get at the store.
Right.
Let the custard cool before you do that.
Okay.
And then eat it. Freeze it and eat it.
That is definitely something that I can check out. And so you have that made. How long about does it take to make this?
The
So you
ice
said
cream?
5 minutes or so with the ice cream maker and everything?
You pre-make the ice cream, and then, like I said, the crust, all this stuff you gather together, doesn't take a lot of time. It's probably about 30 minutes to make the whole thing.
Okay, very good.
So.
And so I know we got a sample in the oven that we can maybe take a bite of.
Yep. I got one little individual one like we serve them at the restaurant.
Favorite part. Okay. And so if you went to the Farmhouse Restaurant, Fontanelle Mansion and Farms, this is what it would look like.
Yep, that's the crisp. Don't touch it, it's hot.
Wow. You can't tell a guy to put that in front of him and not touch it. Are you kidding me? I'm looking for a fork here. I don't see anything. I'm about to eat it with this.
And all the fruit and everything in it is really interchangeable. When peaches come into season here in the next few weeks, month.
And then this is the finished product.
This is the finished product. It's really rich.
Okay.
I like to serve it with carrot cake as well, instead of frosting the carrot cake.
Sure. Could I ask you to pass me? Yeah.
A fork.
That. And so again, Fontanelle Mansion, the Farmhouse Restaurant. They come see
in White Creek,
Chef
Tennessee.
Dustin Pritchard. All right. I'm going to try some of this. You want to get in here with me?
Yes.
It doesn't mean we're going steady if we eat out
I'm
of the
going to
same
wait,
thing.
though. You might make a mess. I don't want you to get anything on me.
Well, I want to make sure I get a little of everything. This is the Green Galley. We always cook green. Because it tastes better. We'll see you guys again real soon. For Live Green, Tennessee, Chef Dustin, I'm Gator. This is a Green Galley. We got business to do here. Wow,
Enjoy.
this is wonderful.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Tennessee has a rich history in agriculture, with many families starting a garden as a means to put food on the table. This is the case with Wendy Williams, who along with her 3 daughters has taken their small garden and turned it into a business venture, creating Three Sisters Farm. Not only is Williams teaching her daughters the importance of hard work and dedication, but her hopes are that one day they will be able to make a living out of the farm.
Well, we've been here for 4 years. We moved here from Arkansas, and we wanted to be close to the university for when the kids do go to college, that they can, short drive. But we've always gardened for ourselves, and 2 years ago we decided to expand to sell at the farmers market, and we experiment with different types of heirlooms. We're all natural, so we're constantly building up the soil. This part here we just tilled this year, so stuff isn't growing as great as it could be, but we'll be adding compost and cover crops throughout the years. We grow a variety of summer vegetables, and we're going to specialize, I think, in spring and late fall vegetables, greens. We enjoy it. The kids work hard, and hopefully we'll have a tractor next year, so we'll be able to produce more, but we're going to double the garden. We've got about 1 acre now, and we will have about 2 acres next year, adding fruits and berries. It's just a family affair here, and we really enjoy it. My 2 oldest are 16 and 17. I wish I would have gotten them into it earlier, because they're at the age where they're not really into the weeding and the bug picking. But hopefully someday, one of them will want to take over, because I would like to see this as a business. I mean, we do have some CSA customers. We will start signing people up for a fall CSA. That's going to be our first real big CSA. And I think it's a really good, healthy living. The TTU is a great ag department as far as teaching farming and hopefully marketing, and I just see it as a really nice growing business, because people want to eat good food and they want to know where the food comes from. Well, in the heat here, we'll work like at least 4 days a week, 4 hours, and that's 4 of us. In the springtime, early spring, you really have to put in a lot of hours, but the weather's nice, so you can work until 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Now, though, it's just too hot to be out here past 11, 12 o'clock. So you got to get up early or late in the evenings, but it's nice. I mean, I come out here and the birds are singing, and it's just beautiful. But you have to stay out of the heat. You really do have to get out of the heat. But in the summertime, probably 15 hours in the garden. And early spring and fall, it's a little bit. To me, it's more labor intensive, but you have less bugs, but you're able to produce more, so you have more in the garden. The bugs are hard. You can use as much soapy water as you want, but you're going to have to hand pick most of them. And keeping the plants fed. So we've grown on the other side of the garden for 2 years. The soil's building up, but getting the compost in there to feed the vegetables without adding herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizers that aren't natural. Well, with the heirlooms, like we're trying to derate all of our beans this year. I mean, we started the garden late. We had a hard time finding someone to till it because we do not have a tractor. That's why the soil isn't as good as it could be. But the deer ate all of our beans, but Ashley, my youngest, tried Chinese red noodle beans, which are coming out terrific, so I think that'll be a big hit. Corn, I'm not the best corn grower. I'll learn that over the years. But we do a lot of oriental greens, especially in the spring and the late fall, that grow terrific here. We do carrots. Carrots was this year was the first year doing carrots, and they just came out tremendous. And the biggest part is keeping your soil up so you don't have to irrigate as much. If you have really good loamy soil and you keep adding compost, irrigation, you know, I just try not to do that because once you irrigate, you always have to irrigate. And once we get to know what actually grows good here, what the customers want, I mean, we're always asking the customers, what would you like us to grow next year? So we can try that in the garden and bring that available. We are all natural, and we like to know where our food comes from. And the best way to do that is to grow it for ourselves. And we figured, well, why not get bigger and be able to provide that to the general public, and we sell at the farmer's market. Great vendors at the farmer's market, and we get to meet the nicest people there. I mean, the customers are just terrific. They're very receptive to all natural products, and it's just been a really good experience. Farmers markets are fun because you get to meet people, but CSAs, as far as someone wanting to be guaranteed that they have a basket once a week with fresh vegetables, yeah, I think CSA is a really good move for people who want to have guaranteed fresh fruits and vegetables on a weekly basis. Eventually, we would like to have a pickup here at the farm where the customers can come out once a week and you know, get involved, you know, and you know, price break if you want to do some weeding and get involved, especially with young children, you know, have them come on out. And I was thinking about getting a plot just for kids to work on while their parents are doing whatever they want to do out here. We'll have you pick flowers and vegetables, and so it's a growing process. It's definitely going to be another year or two before we actually can do some agritourism where we can have, you know, monthly teaching seminars here, hopefully, you know, sooner than later. But I just think that anybody who wants to grow vegetables can, but if they can't and they don't have the time, always buy from a local farmer because it helps out the local economy for one thing, and they know where their food's coming from. I just don't think that buying food that's shipped 1,000 miles away, that is picked before maturity so that it is mature on the shelf, is a good thing for us to eat or for anyone else to eat. I think if you can pick it and buy it, or you know, grow your own food, which everybody can have their own garden. You don't need a lot of space to do gardens. You can do the square foot garden, which you get a lot of produce out of. Raised beds are great if you have a small area. On a big scale, you can't do, you know, where you make your beds out of wood and whatnot because it's just not cost effective. But like you can start a garden, you put newspaper down on the ground, you add good dirt, plop your vegetables in, and you'll be surprised at how much you can produce in a small area. I mean, you just get tips from everywhere. YouTube is a great source. There's a couple local farmers that have a couple books out that are just terrific to know what actually grows in this area without having to try it myself, which, you know, some things we grow. We tried a heirloom Italian broccoli this year, and we won't grow it again because the bugs love it and it just doesn't produce. But it's trial and error. But you have fresh vegetables, and I don't want something that's been sprayed. It's just, I don't think, healthy for you.
Of all the fresh summertime garden foods, the cucumber has the reputation for being the coolest. And pharmacologist Op Walker is in the medicine garden to explain why.
Hello and welcome to the Medicine Garden. Originating in southern Asia, cucumbers rank among the most ancient of vegetables and are the fourth most grown vegetables in the world. The Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans enjoyed cucumbers. Pliny reported greenhouse production of cucumbers by the 1st century with highly artificial methods used to serve cucumbers out of season for the Emperor Tiberius. Columbus brought cucumbers to the New World in 1494, and the French had introduced cucumbers into Canada by 1535. Known as the vegetable that beautifies the skin, cucumbers are high in fiber and contain 96% water. Cucumbers reduce inflammation when mashed or thinly sliced and applied to the skin locally, and are recommended for eczema, dermatosis, and psoriasis, but the cucumber's main benefits come from consuming the vegetable, providing sulfur for healthy skin cells, nails, and hair. Medical science is realizing that what a person puts into their body affects overall health. Studies show that acidity levels created by the typical American diet of processed foods and soft drinks create an ideal environment for disease. Accumulated acidic waste in the joints encourages inflammation and arthritis. Cucumbers remove the uric acid from the body, providing some relief from gout and arthritis, and are recommended for diabetic and weight loss diets. Known alkalizers, cucumbers improve intestinal tract tone and neutralize acidic waste of animal-based diets. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition concluded that alkalizing diets improve bone density and serum growth hormone concentrations. Headaches, migraines, anxiety, depression, chronic fatigue, asthma, obesity, heart disease, cancer, ADD, autism, and Alzheimer's all carry a common denominator, the acid-base balance of the body. Such diseases are diminished in eating alkalizing foods such as the cucumber. But cucumbers can be somewhat indigestible for those that have a frail stomach and should be peeled and well chewed. So perhaps the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, should be revised to say, an apple and a cucumber a day most certainly keeps the doctor away. I'm Dr. Opp Walker, and see you next time in the Medicine Garden.
This time of year in Tennessee, we're so lucky to be surrounded with beautiful flowers and greenery. Recently, Live Green visited the home of Carol Coleman, who is, to say the least, an avid gardener. Carol's hobby has now spread across her yard to include several gardens with a wide variety of flowers, waterfalls, and beautiful trees. But there's also a wealth of memorabilia placed throughout Carol's gardens, whether it's benches fashioned from the old state capitol steps or the bird bath tracing back to her third-grade teacher. Carol has merged memories with natural beauty in her own backyard.
Well, this was my first major start on gardening. I had seen a lot of gardens, and I have a lot of gardening books that has some beautiful gardens from Europe. And so I designed this garden, and I knew that I wanted just the squares with the circle in the center and my sundial. And it was just something I had seen and wanted to do. So this was a spot, it was a low spot, and it just looked like the perfect spot for that design. The next garden, when we first did our landscaping on the house, we had climbing roses on the house, and they got to be a real chore trying to take care of them and cut them. And so he said, if you'll let me cut the roses, then we'll start a waterfall. I have a lot of interesting plants. As if you can see a little later, the huge hostas up there in the shade. And we have the spirea, which has already bloomed. It's a pink spirea. I have some zinnias and some miniature sunflowers, but a lot of the sun ferns, and I have some knockout roses, and I have water lilies in the pond. We had some beautiful yellow iris that were blooming, and as you can see now, we have the pickled weed. Today, I just wanted to explain to you a little about the benches that I have here. I was very fortunate to be able to purchase them. They are the limestone steps that came out of the Tennessee State Capitol when it was renovated in the 70s. This is an interesting piece that I just bought. It is a bird bath, and the owner of it was my third-grade teacher, Miss Bess Mofield. So I'm really happy to have that piece to remind me of her. As you can see, we have 5 or 6 blueberry bushes, and up at the top we have an orchard. We have peaches and pears and apples and plums and cherries. The next garden, this is my memorial garden, and as you can see, everything in my garden is white.
So this is in memory of some of my close relatives. The start of the garden is some miniature boxwoods. I have the hydrangeas here are called Blushing Bride, and then I have some heirloom miniature roses. And if you can see the arches here, they are autumn clematis. And about August, they start to bloom, and that whole arch is white. But we've had weddings, had a lot of graduation pictures, and a lot of senior people have come to have pictures made here in this garden. I guess I got my love for gardening because of my grandmother, Mommy Maynard. And Mommy loved flowers, and as a little girl I would love to go to her house because she always had beautiful flowers everywhere. This peony has been moved 4 times, and I'm hoping this is going to be its permanent home. But this was her peony when she lived out in Allens, and when she moved to town, it was moved to the house that she lived there. And then my aunt moved it twice, and after she passed away, her husband called and said, I want you to come and get Mommy Maynard's peony because I know that, that Liz would want you to have it. It's a challenge, and you've got to be tough to be a gardener. It's a lot of hard work, and you get a lot of scrapes and bruises, and but I love it. I love my gardens, and I don't mind the sun and a lot of hard work, but it takes a lot of rain and a lot of sunshine to get a garden to grow.
Last time in the Gadget Lab, Eli showed us how to nurture homemade sprouts. This time, the Gadget Guy shows us how to do just the opposite for weeds.
Hi, I'm Eli Gadget Guy, and welcome to the Green Gadget Lab. Today I'm going to show you a product that not only kills those pesky weeds, but is also said to be 100% safe for the environment. It is EcoSmart Organic Weed and Grass Killer. This organic herbicide is made from a blend of plant oils that provides an all-natural defense against weeds. So no worries about those nasty synthetic toxins. The natural oils are FDA approved and are often used to add flavor and aroma to candy, soft drinks, cakes, and other sweets. I could sure go for some sweets right now. I'm Eli the Gadget Guy, and we'll see you next time at the Green Gadget Lab.
All across Tennessee, farms and gardens are beginning to bust with all kinds of colorful and delicious vegetables, all of which are readily available from your local growers. Recently, Live Green Tennessee rolled in on the Wilson County Farmers Market.
I'm Alice Tubb, and we live in the Gardo community in Wilson County, and we have a big farm there where we raise corn, tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, okra, just most any kind of vegetables.
I'm Kimberly Underwood. Our farm is in Watertown, Tennessee. We come up here every day except Sunday to sell our produce.
My name's Terry Thompson. I live here in Lebanon, Tennessee. My farm is out on Central Pike, that's south of Lebanon.
My name is Kathy Gray. I'm from Grace Farm, and we're in Lagardo, Tennessee, Wilson County, and I come up here Monday through Saturday.
We have had our farm for a couple of years and still don't have a name for it. Got a name?
Well, it's just the basic tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, potatoes, peppers. Tomatoes is the main crop that I raise. And used to like to raise corn, but it seemed like the little bandit raccoon likes to eat more of it than what I can sell, so.
We have all kinds of produce. We carry the white squash, which a lot of people don't carry. We raise everything we got. all kinds of different squashes, cucumbers, Berkeley's cucumbers, pickles, bell peppers, okra, eggplant, all kinds of little peppers. We got an onion called candy onions that are real good and real sweet.
Okay, yes, we have locally grown, which is most of what we have. We also what is known as outsource, and that's where we can provide people in the area with things that we don't have yet, like peaches and melons. We can also give them traceability. We can tell them where everything comes from, and we can give them a good price.
I've been coming to the farmer's market for about 35 years. A couple of years when I was in high school, then after I got out of college, I've been raising fresh produce since then.
I've only actually started 3 years ago, but I love it. I love it. We left, you know, the city to come out here and do this, and it has been great.
My husband and I have been coming up here 28 years. So it's a family business. It's my 3 kids and my husband and me.
Well, I enjoy seeing the people from year to year that I've got to know during the years and just see how they're doing in life and just seeing that people get good produce.
Well, it's a bunch of country folks, but, you know, it's a way of life, and we love it.
Well, I reckon just socializing, selling the produce, having a good product to sell, that's the key to it, you know.
There's a lot of good people here.
Manchester's Bonnaroo Music Festival is famous for its traffic standstills, but the event is moving forward with efforts not only to entertain the huge crowd, but to serve as a model of sustainability. In Bonnaroo's wake, staffers reclaimed 30+ tons of refuse via recycling and composting, all in just 4 days. This year, Bonnaroo won an Environmental Stewardship Award from the state of Tennessee, and we're about to see why.
We have been making sustainability efforts since the beginning of the festival, which we started 9 years ago. One of our most recent and biggest efforts, you can see behind me, is our compost pile. We require all vendors, and we have required all vendors since about the 2nd year of the festival, to use compostable cups, cutlery, and plates. So 3 years ago, we decided to start composting those items along with all the food waste we could collect from them and our staff catering and patrons on site. So throughout the festival, the compostable items are brought over to this pad. They're mixed with the wood chips, and then they sit here all year and break down, and then we're able to use them throughout the site. And then also on one of our other recent projects, which is the Bonnaroo Victory Garden.
They actually claimed 9 tons of compost, post-consumer food, paper, wood chips, straw bales, to be composted on site. And we needed something to do with all of that compost. So we built this demonstration garden so that we could engage festival goers in the act of gardening. We have some hands-on demonstrations, including you know, showing people how to prep a bed within the garden and to build the soil, starting compost piles, and companion planting, integrative pest management, all the organic practices that you need to garden. And also just sort of to show people that, you know, even if you're like a student and you're in a dorm room or you're in an apartment, you can still grow food. You can grow in containers and small raised beds, and even baskets or bags. You can grow potatoes in a cloth grocery bag. The garden was a huge hit last year, and so we've been able to almost double the size and increase the workshops to shiitake mushroom cultivation and a seed saver exchange. We've had 2 workshops on saving heirloom seeds and the importance of biodiversity in our food supply, and we have we're in the process of setting up a Bonnaroo Seed Savers Exchange. So we had about 30 people this morning who took home heirloom seeds that we had bagged up for them, and they're going to grow out these varieties in their gardens at home, saving some for seed and bring it back next year. and we'll give more to people. And so it's exponentially, you know, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, even if we have 10% or 1% of the festival goers engage in this opportunity, we will be building up our seed bank, our supply of open pollinated seeds. Last year, the compost program reclaimed 30 tons of compost, which is just phenomenal. So we're excited to see where that might lead us as far as the size and the scope of the garden and what we can do here at Bonnaroo, maybe in a permanent way.
From the beginning, we have bucked a lot of different industry trends, from the way our ticket sales have gone to the artists we've been able to get. And that is that permeates everything that we do. And so our sustainability work is definitely a piece of that. I think that festivals all over the United States are all trying to make the most sustainable and green decisions as they possibly can. And we, in comparison to most festivals, we've just been at it a little bit longer. And then we also have the luxury of owning the property, which allows us to do things like have the permanent electricity, install a permanent solar grid, and even have the compost pile, which is a luxury that we have that other festivals who rent their property sites just don't have. So it gives us a little bit of an edge, kind of. But I hate to say that because we're not competing. But we do want to be the best that we can, and we really, it's amazing getting to work. You asked me earlier about, I don't really have a sustainability department, but every single department head, they come from the Fish, Ben & Jerry's, or Grateful Dead background, and so they've really been embracing these kind of sustainability practices, you know, for the past 20 or 30 years. So they're making those decisions, and they've made those decisions from day one when, you know, no festival had a sustainability coordinator or worked with, you know, a green PR firm or whatever. Like, it just didn't exist, but they made those decisions anyway because those are part of their core values and how they want to do business and how they were brought into the music industry. And there are a number of other kind of smaller but equally important education and outreach projects that I'm hoping that the team of us can improve, you know, throughout the year, and that's communicating with the fans and helping people at home make behavior changes so that it's not just when we're here in Manchester. Especially since we purchased the land and we are community members of Manchester, is what can fans learn here and take home to make their communities healthier. And so there are a number of initiatives, and the workshops is a great example. We will continue to provide information throughout the year via our website for the people that took the workshop, the different workshops. The other piece that we started in January of last year that's been very successful is a partnership with carbonrally.com. So that's been a really effective way to work with fans and let them see that, you know, if they can do it here, they can do it wherever they live.
We're here at Bonnaroo teaching folks how to reduce their energy footprint by doing simple acts like gardening, growing your own food, drying your clothes on a clothesline instead of popping them in the dryer. Simple acts, simple behavioral changes that really make a big difference when we all add it up. So we've been signing people up for carbonrally.com, which is a social networking site where you can go on and connect with other Bonnaroo attendees around doing these different energy-saving activities. So it's a really great way to get people engaged, just these really small acts that everyone can do to make a really big difference and help save energy. So I think this whole movement of grow what you eat, grow local, buy local has really taken off across the country. We have folks from all over, you know, people from the Northeast, people from Tennessee, people who come all the way from California who are already doing these things. And so it's great because we can share information and really connect on these different levels, show them different tools that we have, and figure out, you know, how we can help them and also how they can teach us new stuff too. Well, our goal this year at Bonnaroo is really just about education and spreading the word. Word of mouth, viral spreading. So if people don't feel comfortable giving us their emails or they don't want to sign up, it's all right. It was a conversation, it was an idea, a seed planted in their heads that we could all grow and work and change together.
So one of our goals next year is to expand the Bonnaroo Seed Savers into sort of an online forum. We hope to have a page on the Bonnaroo website that is all about the garden, and people who have taken seeds to grow out can post their progress and maybe show photos of the seeds that the plants that they've grown with these heirloom seeds, maybe even the meals that they've cooked with them, and sort of just to create a dialogue, sort of a community nationwide or internationally, whoever happens to join in, and build more gardeners, build more interest. And I think by sort of interacting, creating a dialogue together, it will kind of keep people more committed to the cause of saving these seeds, and will build the seed bank exponentially.
I mean, there are a lot of ways for people to get involved, and you know, we were talking about the Clean Vibes crew earlier, and that's a great example of one of the companies that we work with that recruits a team of about 400 to 500 volunteers to clean up the site during the festival and post-festival. We're always have stuff on our website, and there's a lot of information there with from the nonprofits that we partner with to things that fans can do at home. And then joining the Carbon Rally team is another great way to stay abreast of all the different sustainability work that we're doing here on site. The past few years we've won an award from the Greener Festival, which recognizes festivals throughout the world and their sustainability efforts. And we're always really excited to get that award. But this year we were nominated by a third party, and it's the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation Environmental Stewardship Awards. And we won for the Parks and Recreations category. So that was really exciting because we are a Tennessee event, and a lot of us live here in Tennessee, and so it was really nice to be recognized by the state for our environmental efforts, which they recognized us for everything from the compost to our landfill diversion statistics to just the general education and awareness work that we do with fans throughout the year as well. Well, every year we try to improve what we've already been doing. We have such a good base that it is important for us to raise the bar for ourselves every year. So last year we diverted more than we ever had from the landfill, due in large part to the efforts of Clean Vibes and their cleanup and collection throughout the festival and post-festival. And then once we push ourselves as much as we can with what we're already doing, we definitely try to look at new projects to take on. One of the ones we're talking about is expanding the garden to actually be able to provide some actual vegetables for either a specific sit-down dinner or to one of our vendors on site in the Planet Roo area. We're still exploring permanent solar options on site. We've been looking at that for a couple of years now, and we make progress every year, and we're getting closer and closer. So hopefully that'll happen by the time the 2011 festival rolls around. This pile is probably twice as big as it was last year, and so that's exciting. So I hope that the rest of the collection and diversion statistics will follow that. But we'll see. But we were really excited with how everything went from the response to the garden. It's amazing how many people want a garden, and just, you know, those workshops, it sounded like people they were full all the time, and people were just really excited about it. So that gives us motivation to expand on these things even more.
Please visit our website for all of the Live Green Tennessee stories and recipes. You can find us on Facebook and become a Live Green fan, or email, tweet us, or call us. You might share gardening tips or current events, or just reach out with your favorite recipes. Please join us next time on Live Green Tennessee, when we'll celebrate the Tennessee growers, markets, and top chefs that make the move to eating fresh and living green possible for all of us. Right here next time on Live Green Tennessee.
This program is brought to you in part by the Tennessee Department of Agriculture. This summer, there's fresh, local food grown by a farmer you know at Tennessee farms and farmers markets near you. There's fun there too, with berries to pick, animals to pet, games to play, fish to catch, and color you can bring home to last all summer long. This summer, find yourself on a Tennessee farm with picktnproducts.org.
Do you know where I can find
drill bits? L7.
Thank you.
Hey, aren't you Charlie?
Charlie's here?
Charlie?
Charlie?
People know that farmers have some of the best advice around, like you don't have to be a farmer to save money with Farm Bureau Insurance. Farm Bureau Insurance. Tennessee turns to us.
This happens a lot.
From the great white north to the hills of Tennessee, built with pride and integrity, on their stable-log homes from sea to shining sea, building the American dream. Honest Abe Log Homes.
It's what you've always wanted.
HonestAbe.com. And by the generous support of the Nature Conservancy of Middle Tennessee and the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.